You ever been deep in a conversation or a project with someone and they just vanish? Poof, gone. Well, today we're diving into the psychology of why some people need to disappear to think. You know exactly who I'm talking about, right? Mid-project, maybe even mid-argument, and suddenly they've retreated. They're just gone, off in their own world. Or hey, maybe that's you. Maybe you're the one who feels that intense pull to get away just to process everything. It's a super common thing, but it's also something we tend to get completely wrong.
You know, our brains are wired for social cues. So when someone pulls back, we immediately jump to conclusions. We see them withdraw and we think the worst. They're mad at me, they're frustrated, or they're just straight up avoiding me. But what if we're reading the signals all wrong?
Okay, so here's the fundamental shift we need to make. The common view, right, sees this as emotional avoidance, a bad sign. But the real story? It's actually a strategic withdrawal. It's not about feelings, it's about focus. It's not some negative reaction, it's a positive and honestly, a really productive process.
And this right here is the absolute core insight from our source material. Let me say it again. Temporary withdrawal is often strategic, not emotional. This just completely reframes the whole act. It's not an impulsive reaction, it's a deliberate tactic for thinking better.
So what's actually happening inside our heads during these little quiet retreats? It's so much more than just escaping noise. Turns out there's a whole series of powerful cognitive processes kicking into high gear. Let's get into the fascinating science behind it. So first, there's this really cool process called cognitive incubation. And I know you've felt this before. You're wrestling with a tough problem for hours, you get nowhere, you finally give up, and then bam, you're in the shower or taking a walk, and the solution just pops into your head. That's not magic, that's your unconscious mind working in the background, connecting the dots once you finally get out of your own way. Next up, we have solitude-driven insight. Look, our brains are constantly just getting bombarded with noise. Other people's opinions, notifications, just the chaos of daily life. Solitude cuts all that off. It shuts down that flood of input, and that forces our minds to turn inward and start making new, creative connections between ideas that are already in there. This is where those genuine aha moments are born. And finally, there's something called mental consolidation. Okay, imagine your brain is like a super messy desk after a long, crazy day at work. You've got papers and ideas just scattered everywhere. Solitude is the time you take to clean up that desk. You're filing away new info, organizing thoughts, turning that chaos into a coherent, understandable structure. This is absolutely essential for clarity. So when you put those three things together, incubation, insight, and consolidation, they create the perfect storm for a breakthrough. By finding a quiet space, you escape the noise, you let your unconscious mind do its thing, you organize all your thoughts, and you unlock those brilliant, unconventional ideas that were hiding in there. It is an incredibly powerful formula. All right, now we get to what I think is the most powerful idea in this entire explainer. This is more than just understanding a quirky little habit. This is about a massive shift in how we should be viewing solitude, thinking, and even our own productivity. Here it is. This is the key takeaway. Isolation isn't avoidance, it's intellectual maintenance. It's just like how a high-performance car needs regular tune-ups to run at its best. Our brains need these periods of solitude to perform at their best. It's a necessary, healthy, and frankly, a high-performance activity.
You know what it's like? It's like a computer's hard drive. Over time, it gets all fragmented, right? Bits of data are spattered everywhere, and the whole system slows down to a crawl. Defragmenting organizes all that data so it can run at peak efficiency again. That's exactly what your brain is doing in solitude. It's cleaning up, organizing, and optimizing itself for whatever comes next.
So we've busted the myth, we've reframed solitude as this amazing strategic tool. Now what? Let's talk about how we can actually put this powerful new mindset to work in our everyday lives.
So the next time a colleague or a friend or your partner says, "Hey, I need a minute to think," what are you going to see? Instead of seeing rejection or feeling like they're frustrated, you can now see a high performer at work. You can see them running that essential intellectual maintenance so they can come back with a better, clearer solution. Just that simple shift can totally change your interactions.
And now let's turn it back to you. What's that big problem you're wrestling with? That complex decision that's just been weighing on you? Maybe the answer isn't another meeting or more brainstorming. Maybe the answer is more solitude. Maybe it's time to give yourself permission to just disappear for a little while and let your mind do its most incredible work. So, what problem will you solve in the quiet?